What is going on, everyone? The Houston Texans have named a starting quarterback for this season, and his name is C.J. Stroud. Shout out to the number 2 overall pick in this year's draft for winning the quarterback competition. Was it even a question? To some Texans fans, it was. Look, leading into yesterday's preseason matchup against the Saints, where the Houston Texans won 17-13, the Texans were the only team in the NFL to not name a starting quarterback. Now, I gave my 2 cents a couple of days ago, and I said even though the Houston Texans haven't named a starting quarterback, their actions are showing that C.J. Stroud is QB1. Ever since the pads came on in training camp, the rookie has been getting 100% of the first team reps. In the 2 joint practices against the Miami Dolphins, it was C.J. Stroud, the first quarterback out there in team drills and situations. And then in all these preseason games against the Patriots, against the Dolphins, yesterday against the Saints, it was C.J. Stroud, the starting quarterback. And you love to hear that he won the starting job, man. Let's freaking go. I cannot wait for week 1 against Baltimore. We are also going to talk about the preseason victory. Welcome, everyone, to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calvillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content, win, lose, or draw. So make sure you guys are following me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest Houston Texans news, rumors, and updates. And if you are new here to the channel, welcome. I am trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Please help me get there, and thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Now, shout out to Big Sarge Media. He asked the question to head coach DeMeco Ryans about who was going to be QB1, and that is where we got the announcement that it is going to be C.J. Stroud. This is a quote from DJ Bieniemy. They asked him his thoughts on being named the starter. It was definitely a blessing, something that I think I worked for and definitely earned, Stroud said. At the same time, nothing else really changes. Still gonna work like the way I'm working, even more now. I'm blessed enough to be able to be a starter so young in this league, which isn't the easiest thing to do, but I know my coaches have trust and faith in me, so I'll go out there and do my best. C.J. Stroud, the whole city of Houston is behind you, brother. Congratulations on being named QB1 of the Houston Texans. Wish you all the best and all the success this year. Make a statement, go out there and shock the world. Now, leading into yesterday's preseason matchup against the Saints, I sat here in front of you and said that C.J. Stroud has done everything but score. And he did that exact thing yesterday, man. His stat line, 2 of 4, 16 yards, 1 tutty. He really didn't have to throw the ball a lot because Dameon Pierce was just a bowling ball, man. 5 carries, 30 yards, got us to the goal line. He trucked Lonnie Johnson. That is the type of support I love seeing for my rookie quarterback, man. I think Dameon Pierce is going to have a fantastic year. But C.J. Stroud, some plays to highlight. That deep pass to Nico Collins was just beautiful and right on the money. You would have loved if Nico came down with it. That's why I am lobbying for the Houston Texans to go out there and get a wide receiver via trade. Mike Evans would have came down with that ball. I'm going to continue to beat the Mike Evans narrative. Bring him home and give C.J. Stroud a true number 1 wide receiver. But that type of play you love to see. They have ran that in practice. Nico Collins has found success against some Dolphin cornerbacks last week with that same play. C.J. Stroud, a great throw right there. Another great throw was on the same drive. C.J. Stroud steps up in the pocket. Now, I think he could have ran for the first down, but he tries to get it to Robert Woods, puts it in an area where only Woods could get it. Ball doesn't get complete, man. The Houston Texans had to turn the ball over on downs. Then I got nervous there. I needed to see C.J. Stroud score a touchdown. And the pass to Dalton Schultz on 3rd down, a beautiful ball placement, man. And if him and Dalton Schultz continue that type of connection, look out. I think Dalton Schultz, right, like DJ Bieniemy said a couple of weeks ago, he could see Dalton Schultz being a leader in targets for the Houston Texans, man. And the fact that C.J. Stroud found him on 3rd down and they converted it, it gets me excited for this connection in the future. Then the touchdown pass to Nico Collins, of all people. He comes screaming across the middle, A easy but beautiful throw by CJ Stroud, and great blocking by Tegan Quitoriano. Great blocking by Dameon Pierce. CJ Stroud gets his first professional touchdown, first of many, man. And CJ Stroud, he ended the preseason on a high note here. This is your quarterback one. He did everything I needed him to do. When you looked on Twitter, you saw nothing but CJ Stroud is him. CJ Stroud is QB1. The bust tweets and comments, I didn't see them at all. Shout out to number 7 for having a statement first couple of drives against the New Orleans Saints. Some more offensive players to shout out. Mike Boone is your third running back. I think he had a solid day yesterday. That touchdown, breaking multiple arm tackles, was a exclamation point on his preseason performance. The offensive line, the starting offensive line, looked really good. Something to note, Dieter was your starting left guard, not Kenyon Green. Kenyon Green was out there with the twos, and Kenyon Green did not look good. He got just beat like a drum by a rookie and then immediately went to grab his shoulder, clearly gave up on the play. That is not something you want to see from someone you took in the first round last year. I don't want to give up on Kenyon Green. I already see people calling him a bust. It does take a while for offensive linemen, young offensive linemen, to get adjusted to the NFL. But Kenyon Green, man, you could only defend someone for so long. Good thing we have about 13 days until week 1 against Baltimore. We'll see if Kenyon Green is the starting left guard of the Houston Texans. We got to see rookie wide receiver Tank Dell have a highlight play, a punt return opportunity. Took it to the Houston Texans 40-yard line, made multiple Saints defenders miss. Houston is going to have to get used to these type of highlight plays from the rookie. And Tank Dell, man, I think he is going to be a candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I wonder why the Houston Texans didn't throw him out there with CJ Stroud. You would have loved to see the 7-1-3 connection on display during the preseason, but it looks like the Houston Texans are waiting for week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. Another rookie wide receiver who stood out, Xavier Hutchinson. 6 targets, 4 catches, 48 yards. Leading receiver for the Houston Texans yesterday. He had a big game to finish off the preseason. What are we going to get in Xavier Hutchinson's rookie season? I don't know, but it's nice to see that he ended the preseason in a very strong way. Switching to the defense. A complete 180 from what we saw last week where they got absolutely gashed, right? 180 yards on the ground. They couldn't stop nothing. D'Amico Ryans was calling the plays. I think that's why we saw this type of defense performance. Shout out to guys like Eric Murray. He had a big pass breakup. The new cornerback we just signed, Cameron Dantzler, had an interception late in the fourth quarter. Also, safety Graylin Arnold had the interception to end the game. This defense was flying all over the field. Desmond King, he did play a lot. It looked like he was fighting for his position. Tavier Thomas, number 4, just looks slow out there, man. I think we are going to see the end of Tavier Thomas on the Houston Texans. Shaquille Griffin had a nice pass breakup in the first quarter. There was no Steven Nelson or Derek Stingley. Khalil Davis, who the Houston Texans signed from the USFL, had a sack, continues to have a strong preseason, a strong training camp with the Houston Texans, man. Overall, this is the type of defense performance I expect to see from the Houston Texans. You kind of went back to your swarm mentality that you lost last week against the Miami Dolphins. And the preseason has come to a close, ladies and gentlemen. The next time the Houston Texans play a football game, it will count towards the win, loss, or tie column. I definitely don't want to start week 1 with the tie again. Let's go out there and beat the Baltimore Ravens, ladies and gentlemen. For more Houston Texans content, feel free to follow me for more. Go Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.